Live from Owings Mills, Maryland, it's the Max Fortune Show. Whether it's becoming a success by achieving your dreams and goals, growing your business, or unlocking your full potential, the Max Fortune Show specializes in helping you maximize your fortune. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the Max Fortune Show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Max Fortune Show. I'm Max Fortune, your host. I'm also author, motivational speaker, and a book coach. And today, as always, I have my co-host, Joe Farina, with me. And for those of you who don't know, Joe's the Director of Sales and Marketing over at Fortune Publishing Group. And he's also, again, a guy who's owned multiple businesses, both online and offline. And he's a very highly skilled entrepreneur and personal development specialist who's had his work both published online, both in book and magazine form. Right. And
yes, absolutely.
So glad to have you here, Joe.
Glad to be here, Max.
Again, like every week, it's really good to have you here on the show, and good to have you on the show.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Do we have the same?
No.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, we have a great surprise for everyone out there. If you're an aspiring author, you can get a free ebook from us on how to publish by going to fortunepublishinggroup.com/ebook. There you go. On time and rocking and rolling.
There you go. Now, once you do that, you actually be added to our email database. We're actually sending out our really great newsletter, and you can also share it on your social media networks. So we encourage you to go out there and join the newsletter. Go to the Fortune Book Publishing /ebook. Fortune Publishing Group
Right.
/ebook. Right.
We're having a great time, ladies and gentlemen. I think Max and I were just talking before the show. It's been one of those fun days that you kind of put everything together and you see what happens and realize that you might have to call a few audibles along the way. So we just called an audible, and we are adjusting to it, which is always fun. But the Max Fortune Show is recorded live, as you're seeing right now, unedited and raw. And so uncut, unfettered. And that means you, the viewers out there, can call into the show or post on the social media any questions that you have, or you can call into the show at 844-220-2266 to speak with myself or Max. And as always, the best caller or viewer who responds with some outstanding content for us to talk about will win an exciting 3 days, 2 fun-filled nights to a vacation destination of your choice, compliments of the Max Fortune Show.
There you have it.
There you have it. And you can also reach us at the Max Fortune Show at gmail.com to reach our producer with any questions. So there's many ways to reach us.
Lots and lots of ways. So we're hoping that you reach out today. As usual, what we do is we we actually focus every week on trying to bring you valuable information that can help you either get your book published, or if you have a small business out there, get your business going, or to do different techniques. I mean, there's a lot of small business owners out there, and there's a lot of information out there, things that you can do to market your business and grow. And a lot of it is not super cost effective, or things that are costly, I should say, that are very cost-effective ways to market your business. So that's the goal and the focus of today's show. We do it on the Get Rich in Your Niche theme. And so today we're going to be focusing on the importance of newsletters. And I know we kind of were talking earlier about email and how relevant email is, and newsletters and reaching out to people is still important. And a lot of times you can do that effectively. If you have a business out there, if you are building a brand of any sort and you want to get your information out there, newsletter is still a great way to disseminate a lot of information to your current database, or to grow your database using using a newsletter. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today. Cost-effective medium for building relationships is your newsletter. Creating that relationship and establishing that relationship and sending information on a regular basis. That's what we're going to be covering today in this segment of this show, the Max Fortune Show, we're going to be talking about newsletters and how you use them to grow your business.
Yeah, and newsletters, as Max and I were talking a little bit earlier, are still relevant today. And they are one of the cost-effective ways of really increasing awareness and understanding with your customer base. It's another way of keeping in front of your audience, in front of your fan base, and that's so important in our fast-paced society today. So it's just another way to get that message out there, and it's a powerful medium still to this day.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, and newsletters are a way to really help you demonstrate your expertise and build confidence in whatever your brand that you're promoting. So if you have a brand that you're promoting, you have a product or service that you're putting out there, newsletter gives you the opportunity to expand upon that information. So you can give more information about whatever your product or service is, more than you could put in a brochure or in a card. A lot of times you could put in a newsletter. And so you can still get that information out there, and it's a very cost-effective way for you to get information out to the people that you're trying to get to, your clients, your customers that you're trying to get in front of. So again, I definitely want to encourage you to try or attempt that if you're not doing that every week or every other week. And really, there's different ways, or there's really different times that you can send out your newsletter. I mean, you could have a weekly newsletter. You could do it bi-weekly, you could do it monthly, you could do it however, whatever increment you feel like works best for your target audience. But just know that some of the, one of the main things is it's a way of really helping you demonstrate your expertise and also helping to build confidence in your brand, your product or service. The more people hear about you and see you talking about whatever the service you're marketing, it just builds confidence with them. And a lot of times it's 5 to 7 touches before somebody becomes a client or a customer. So you want to be able to have those touches out there, and a newsletter is a great way to do that.
Value, value, value. That is so important. And a newsletter, whether it's in an email form or even in a print form, is just a fantastic way to provide valuable information to your fans, to your customer base, to your current clients, or people that have expressed a desire to hear what you have to say. So it's just a great platform. And that's what I kind of always look at is, how can we bring more value? How can we provide value and really let everyone know what we can provide? And a newsletter, like I said, either in an email form or print form, is a fantastic way to provide valuable information.
I agree. And, it helps to build a broader picture of what your business is, because a lot of times you're limited on a brochure or on a business card as to how much information you can disseminate, how much you can put out there about a particular product or service. And then sometimes products or service developer, you're developing a product and there are new features, or maybe a customer has got back with you and shared with you that there's more ways, a new way that they're using a product or service. So a newsletter is a great way to roll that information out, or to let other people know, hey, client A, B, and C is using our product or service this way. Maybe you should try to do that yourself. It becomes a way of actually building a lot of different ways where you can utilize the product or service, or explain in more detail. And a lot of times you're stuck with a brochure or a business card with trying to give people everything all at one sitting or one glance at your card or even a website. So it's something that could be more dynamic. So you can constantly be adding more information on, and like I said, constantly be adding more information on and putting more information out there. So it really just kind of broadens the scope of whatever business that you have out there, whatever business you're trying to promote or market. And again, that becomes super critical as far as getting out there. And again, there are a lot of services that you can create newsletters on, and a lot of them out there actually have templates, and we'll probably talk about that a little bit later in the show. A lot of them have templates out there that are really easy to use. So for people who are feeling like they're not really savvy and not really computer savvy, there are a lot of services that have templates for disseminating newsletters fairly easily. Your job is just upload your database to it, and the service a lot of times does a lot of the work in that part. So
another key thing to remember is consistency. Yeah. And you'll hear me talk about value all the time, because that is the backbone of any viable business, is to provide value. And when you have a clear understanding of that, that can drive your consistency. not just stopping one time and then going away for 6 months. You want to be consistent because that's how you serve the people around you. To be able to be in front of them, let them know, hey, I'm here to help. This is what I have to offer. This is my message that I have. I believe in it. And be consistent. And if you think about consistency and the power of that, think about if you see a raindrop or a drop of water that keeps falling in the same spot over and over again, eventually it starts to actually create a hole. And the longer that keeps dropping, it actually creates a bigger and bigger hole. And so consistency is so important to drive your message deep, because you never know when somebody needs that message and when they see that message. And in all the sea of messaging out there, consistency is important because of the amount of messages people receive, whether it's through television or marketing or advertising. We're bombarded with information constantly. And how we can serve the people around us is to be consistent, to constantly get out our message, because you never know when that message is going to fall on fertile ground and somebody needs to hear that.
I agree. As always, we're looking for your comments. We got Nicole out there saying hi fellas, great job.
Oh,
So,
hey, Nicole.
Definitely thanks for tuning in. We appreciate your comments. And again, today we're talking about the importance of growing your business. If you have a small business out there, again, this is just tools that you can do, that anybody can do that has a business that you want to disseminate. I mean, you really can't grow a business if people don't know about it. And putting a newsletter out today, we're talking about the importance of using a newsletter to grow your business and to tell people about your business. And as Joe was talking about, the consistency piece is really, really important. Again, it's not something you want to do once in a while or when you think about it or every now and again. It's something you want to do with some kind of regularity. I mentioned earlier that you either want to do it weekly and be consistent with it, every other week, or whatever your timetable you feel like is best for your audience. Just make sure you do that on a regular basis. And so the newsletter allows you to really kind of also streamline all of your different marketing materials and kind of doing under a consistent branding umbrella. So that's something else that you want to remember. If your business cards, your newsletter should kind of mirror the same kind of color scheme or whatever you're using already, whatever branding you're already putting out there. So just make sure you're branding across all platforms, your website, your business card, your newsletter, as we're talking about, all really kind of come together and look uniform to some degree. They look, they kind of share the same message. It's kind of, branding is real important. When people kind of see your brand, they should know it right away. And your newsletter, again, is just another touch, another way of getting in front of people, getting in front of your audience with your message. And again, a message that can change and should change from week to week or from issue to issue, however often you put that information out there. So again, just make sure you are definitely streamlining or using it to streamline all of your other marketing materials, because it can definitely reference your website. It can reference your location. If you have a brick and mortar location, your newsletter should be getting people to that location or telling them where your Facebook, your social media pages are, or whatever else you're doing. Your newsletter can kind of do all of those things under that same hat or umbrella.
And I go back, and you'll see me reiterate this, and it's so important. Adam Markell was at a seminar. He said, how you do anything is how you do everything. And you're going to hear me say value, 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 because that's how you want to operate. And when you operate by providing value in every area of your life, you can put that into whatever marketing you do. And it's important to remember, you want to send out information that really provides value, that is actually helpful.
You know what? I'm sorry. I'm going to cut you off for just a second.
Sure.
Anyone who's watched the show, and I've been around you a lot, so anybody watching the show, they know you talk about value and how important that is to you.
That's my on my gravestone. It will say
value. I brought value.
Yeah.
You hear that? Okay, so just kind of explain or talk a little bit about what value is, or value, or how can somebody bring value, provide value, or what constitutes value?
Yeah. What constitutes value is starting with the servant's heart and providing someone with something that you have that they really need, that they really want. that really will change their life, that really matters, that really speaks to them. It's about them, and that's what's valuable, right? When you can provide something to someone else and tap into what they feel is valuable. Now, I might think something is valuable, but that does not mean that other people do. So when you're speaking to your clients, you want to speak to them from a place of service, a place of what problem you are able to solve for them. And then here's a great one: solve the problem for them. If you can do it before you ever charge them a dime, that is the magic. Because when you get into the value-based mode of really being a person that answers the call when someone says, help, I need help, you are a hero. And you want your content to be of service. People will do business with people they know, like, and trust. I'm sure if you've been in any personal development or sales seminar or anything like that, you've heard people use that phrase, that people will do business with people they know, like, and trust. And when you can give someone something that they perceive to be valuable, my goodness, how excited does someone get when they realize that? And how do you know something is valuable to someone? Here's a great thing. Listen to them. If you're a business owner out there, listen to the people that you are considering your clients or your target market and your customer base. Define who you serve. Find out what really matters to them. Find out what really they are looking for, the things that really they're struggling with, or the things that they really desire. And what makes that valuable is when you can provide that to them, the solution, the information, the answer. That's what I mean by
a lot
value.
of times people don't really kind of think that way. A lot of times business owners want to withhold the value, wait till people pay for it.
And
you know what I mean?
Let me just
that's the interesting caveat that I think gets missing a lot of times with business owners. Again, they want people to pay for all of the information they have, but until someone feels like they can actually if you're really not bringing value, you really don't ever get to the payday. Because they don't really know. If somebody's doing business with you for the first time, they definitely need to know that you can bring value. And once you bring value to them, then they're willing to spend more money with you. So I just wanted to speak to that real quickly.
And I get very fired up about this one. This is sometimes this throws everything into a different shift for a lot of business owners out there. And I experience this at different times where we forget sometimes that, yes, we have products that we are selling, but you know what? The sale is a byproduct of the service. When we're able to solve someone's problems, right? Or able to give them what they desire, that they're looking for, and connect them with that solution, that answer, it's a foregone conclusion they are going to exchange value with us. We provide value, they provide value back, and a customer provides value by what? Paying for that service. And the cool part is, and I really believe this, that we live in an abundance universe. And I've learned over the years that when you just give it with a servant's heart, and you just give, and you give, and you give, you will get back tenfold what you give out. Because people then will look to you as an authority. And you will not be coming from a position of greed or scarcity. And too often in different economic times, businesses look to cut corners in that regard, where they forget that, you know what? In today's day and age, it really is about being of service, helping people. And when you help enough people get what they want, as Zig Ziglar said, you can have anything you want. And for businesses out there, mark this down. You get paid for what you are worth in the marketplace. Exactly what you're worth. And when you are extremely valuable to people in the marketplace, which is the global world, 7 billion plus people, you will have it come back in return. So what I'm saying is, with your newsletters, with the things you're giving away, you see Max has the How to Publish free ebook. Why do we do that, Max?
Well, again, just for providing valuable information that you can use. Actually, that information that you would actually pay for, could pay for, people have paid for, and you find value in that, and maybe you'll try putting your book together on your own and see, hey, I need some coaching, as people have come to us with that, or maybe you'll find that information valuable and you can get at least to the next level. And so that's one of the reasons why we provide you that valuable information. And you know what, I want to kind of also jump in really quickly and
Sure.
One of the things that I think helps us best is when we're actually interacting with you and we're talking about small business. So if you have a business out there, I want to kind of, again, even though we talked about this at the top of the show, you can join the conversation today. Again, it's very, very easy and very simple. We got a toll-free phone number, so no matter where you're watching from, I know that we have some viewers even overseas
We
watch
do.
us. And
We do.
so you can call us toll-free at 844-220-2260. Our producer will answer the phone and patch you right on in. And guess what? We'll be able to get you right here live on the show. You can ask your question. We can talk to you right now. If you have a small business, maybe your business is having a challenge with marketing, and you kind of just have a question about that. So we're inviting you to call us in and be a part of the show. Let us know that the questions that you have, and you can also do this by email. But again, the email, of course, we're not going to get to during the show per se. But what we can do is give you the information to call in. So the call-in number again, as I'm being requested.
844-220-2266.
There you go. Very easy number to remember. 844
220.
2266.
There you go. All right.
So call us right now. We'll definitely love to talk to you. We got a whole lot of information, a whole lot of value.
Value.
A lot
We're
of
going
value.
crazy with
Hey,
value.
there you go. All right. I kind of want to also just kind of talk about really how you can sprinkle in tips, business tips, whatever your business is. It kind of also feeds into the value piece. If you're kind of providing every week when you put out a newsletter, it gives you an opportunity to put in a little tip, a little pointer, a little nugget of information that makes somebody else's life easier. It's another way. You'd be surprised how you can gain clients or customers from giving them something, again, some value in a quick, clear, concise manner, something simple, something easy, something that makes their life better. So the more you even study your clients' needs, their wants, their desires, the things that they're looking for, it makes it easier for you to provide a tip, something that, again, just makes life easier for them. And so you want to be able to use your newsletter to that. Okay, so Renata Robinson saying value is the key. Renata, hi, how are you from Chicagoland?
Hey, Renata.
Thanks for tuning
Value
into the
is
show.
the key. I salute you.
Yeah. So again, like I said, we love it when people are calling into the show, comment in the show. So we see these comments in real time. Again, we're definitely strongly encouraging you to do that. And so if you have a business out there, actually, I really want to encourage people, if you know a business owner right now, share this feed. Somebody who you think will find this information valuable. They have a business, they're trying to grow, they're trying to find some unique ways to market that business. Share this feed with them right now. It just click on the button right under here. I think it's under here somewhere. I don't know where it is, but it's somewhere. Click on it, find it. Click on it. Share it with somebody. Share this information. We're on every week, Thursdays from 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And honestly, we're here really in service to other business owners, other authors, and people like yourself who could get information or find some of the information we're sharing valuable, take it in and use it, utilize it. And so that's kind of why we're here. That's what we do every week.
Yep.
So
in going on with the newsletters, I'm going to go right back to where I was at before. Because there are a few fundamental things to remember. You're going to hear me say it again. Value, value, value. And on top of value, be consistent with providing value. That can't be understated or overstated. It cannot be understated. You must overstate it. Overstate it and keep striving to overstate it, because being consistent is so important. It's worth reiterating over and over again. Being consistently providing value.
I agree.
Yes.
So there you go. Another drop the mic moment.
It is another drop the mic moment.
It brings me to another point that when it comes to your newsletter, you want to make sure that you're making it personal, making it personal for the readers, the people who are reading it. Connect with them. Find some kind of way to connect with your readers by providing them, again, information that they could use that they need. And the more you, sometimes if you're not even sure what to do or how to do that, you could even just send out a survey, or if you have a brick and mortar place, if you're just asking clients, how can I be of service? What are some of the problems you're having? What are some of the things you're struggling with? Then we also have this amazing thing called the internet, and you can Google some of the same
I've
things.
heard about that.
You've heard about that? Yeah.
I've heard about
It's
the
a-
internet.
It's a strange phenomenon. It's not going to go
Weird.
anywhere.
It will never go anywhere.
It'll never go
Yeah,
anywhere.
it sounds doomed.
But what I will say is, there's almost anything that you want to know you can find nowadays by going to Google, getting on the internet, finding out what your customers like, even as going to your competitors, seeing what they're doing to answer questions, because the person who's bringing the most value, or who is assisting their customers the most, that's going to be the person who's going to grow their business the fastest, or grow it the deepest,
Right.
and grow it best.
Customers do not live to pay you money.
They don't?
Right? They don't.
Are you sure?
Unfortunately, they don't. They don't. What they do is they want to have their problem solved, or something that they're striving for answered.
Yeah.
And that is, especially when it's very important. If you've ever been in a situation where you've run out of gas on the side of the road, or you've had a flat tire and you don't have a spare, and someone stops and has a jack or has a solution, how grateful are you
Yeah.
in that moment? You're almost like, here, take $20. Here, thank you so much. Thank you. Because you provided value. And I think that's the big thing now that I see in the business world, that a lot of businesses get wrong. They're focused on the numbers. They're focused on the bottom line. They're focused inward on themselves, and they're coming from a scarcity mindset. And so they forget that the more you give away, the more you get in return. It just is the nature of that, because it's just how it is. I don't know how that works, but it's just how it is. And as a business, you cannot be afraid of doing that, because you really want to be of service. You want to dominate the industry in that regard. And so encouraging interaction with your customer base to find out what their needs are. There's been many a business out there that fell behind the times of their customer base because the customers moved on and they never moved on.
Right.
You saw that with, look at the movie rental business.
Right.
Customers, as technology changed, customers no longer really wanted to have to get in their car and go to a video store and have to go in there at whatever time they were open, and if you forgot to return it, you would get charged extra. And as technology changed, those businesses who didn't adhere to the new technology and what their customers were really looking for got left behind. You're seeing that right now, unfortunately, with brick and mortar. As technology changed, customers are saying, hey, I don't necessarily enjoy all the time sitting in traffic, going to your store, having to go through that process. As technology's changed, what customers are saying right now is they want to have as many options in front of them as possible, and they want to have that product or service delivered to them in the most convenient and easy and feasible way that they can have it. And you're seeing that trend now with certain mega companies like Amazon, which are now moving towards within 2 hour shipping
That is
of your
ridiculous. That's
products.
crazy.
And so people are able to shop for a wide variety of things, and they're able to get it at a better price. And so businesses that are hip to that are understanding that they're really in service to the customer, providing value, and always looking for ways to champion the customer.
I agree.
A good business wants the customer to win, right? Wants the customer to win every single time, and keeps innovating to help that customer win, and keep winning. And you will never have to ever literally explain to your customer your value, because they know it. You never have to tell them how great you are. They'll shout it from the rooftop.
You know what, Nicole, thanks for sharing that. She's mentioned that givers are blessed people. And you know what,
Yes,
I agree.
amen.
Givers are definitely blessed people. Again, it's what I call the boomerang effect. You put information out there, and it definitely comes back. And a lot of times it comes back tenfold, and doesn't usually come back from the same person. And I'm also watching Renata's comments saying, staying innovative equals customer retention.
Yes.
So, thank you for sharing that. And
Yes, right.
that's so important. So again, you got to stay innovative. And you know what, as you were talking earlier, I was thinking about, you were talking about the video industry, and I was thinking about how, I can remember when Netflix first came out, it was weird getting movies in the mail, because that's what they were mailing. It was
Right.
Netflix, they were mailing the stuff to you in the mail. and now they've gone to online, and so you have to definitely stay innovative. Your business has to constantly find ways to innovate and change with the times and embrace new technologies and continue to grow that way. Other than that, then your business will not continue. And as we're going kind of circling in or tying in this whole how we do this, all of this in a newsletter, one of the most important things we're kind of like the show is almost being shifted to like value. You were talking about newsletter, but really that's really kind of like the
value
underscore.
is so, because that has to be the underscore of any good newsletter. If it's not valuable to somebody,
Yeah.
why should they even look at it?
I agree.
Just so you can market your service to them that doesn't have any value or meaning to that person. We
Right.
want to be able to provide value, and that's why people would even want to take time to read it. Time is the most important thing that every single person has. And when a business loses sight of the fact that their customers are giving up valuable time to read or watch, just like you viewers out there. I appreciate each and every one of you out there right now, because you could be anywhere in the world and you're with us watching this show. So thank you for that, because I value that.
Yeah, for sure. So we definitely
Really
we definitely do value.
can't lose
that.
sight of that.
And so kind of circling back to this whole newsletter that you're providing value, you're providing really critical information. The sneaky part, or the challenge, I should say, for most of us in business is anytime you get in front of your customer, what do we want? We want to try to sell them something. We want to try to get some money out of it. And that's the newsletter is not really designed to do that. And so the idea is really to give value, to give information, to assist and help your clients in a way without the expectation of expecting something in return or something back right away. So it's really being able to do this newsletter without hard selling. And a hard sell is really asking, hey, send me some money or buy my product or buy this or buy that. Again, that newsletter should really be information packed. It should be something that you're giving, you're kind of looking at it as something you're doing for your client or your customer base. You're giving them information that they can use, and if they find that credible or they find that information valuable, they will share it, with other people. They'll look at you as a source of information, and that's where a sphere of influence, a center of influence. That's what you want. You want your customers or your clients looking at you as a center of influence. And the way you do that, the way you accomplish that, is by doing a newsletter or having a newsletter that's giving information without that hard sale, without that strong call to action where you're saying, hey, send me some money right now, or buy my product, or buy this or buy that. So if your whole concept or idea is centered around giving and providing valuable information, then I think that you're in the right direction at that point.
And here is the magic. The magic is when you are giving away in that newsletter valuable content. Value, value, value.
There it is.
The perception in your customers or client's mind is this, and I'll tell you exactly what it is. They are saying, if this company or this person is willing to give away this information and the free information is this valuable, what do I get when I'm actually buying one of their products or services? Because if they're able to provide this much value and they've gifted it to me, how much value am I getting when I am giving value back to them, i.e. buying their product or service? What can I get then? And that in the back of everyone's mind, that's what people are thinking, right? They're thinking that, and really subconsciously, they go, wow, this person's giving so much value. What happens when I pay for it? What am I actually getting in the paid program? What am I getting? And that's just the heartbeat in the back of everyone's mind, whether they admit it or not. That's a decision most customers make.
You know what? I just thought about it. I'm going to ask the producer of the show to bring the copy of Get Rich in Your Niche, or toss it, or wherever somehow, because I just want to kind of show where we're getting this information in, or some of this information, and I just wanted to
Go ahead.
There we go. All right, good. It wasn't even on camera. Great.
Yeah, noodle on. Thanks. That's good, though. I didn't want you to wing it at me. You poke my eye out.
So listen, a lot of this information is coming from this book, Get Rich in Your Niche, and even though we're talking about, I'm not selling this book right now. I mean, you can buy it, but I'm not selling it right now. I just want to.
But I would like to recommend. Here's the thing: when you purchase a book like this, there is so much valuable content in it that it is worth purchasing. It's worth actually getting it reading it, put it in your library, reread it over and over again. It does provide a
And
whole bunch of value.
the reason why I wanted to have it on the show, we normally have our books on here, and I tried to take it away, and that's kind of one of those weird things, you know. You want the things you don't have. Anyway, the whole point of it is I just want the to focus on the marketing techniques that this book covers. So if you have a small business out there, I definitely want to log on to AskMaxFortune.com, get a copy of this book, or FortunePublishingGroup.com. Either one of those websites, you can get a copy of that book for your business or gift it to someone else. But we're kind of talking about newsletters, and that's kind of one of the subjects in here. It's a lot of different, really great information here if you got a small business and you're looking for some really inexpensive ways to grow your business marketing-wise. And so we're focusing today on this newsletter and how important it is to do a newsletter and how important it is to be consistent with that newsletter. And in doing that, or one of the major purposes of the newsletter is really for you to grow or continue to grow your customer base, a list, getting them to opt in, getting other people to opt in. And so really having a powerful email marketing system for your business is really kind of growing the subscriber list, so getting people to subscribe to that newsletter. So if they're finding that information valuable, if they're finding that you're bringing value, that they are getting something out of your newsletter, they will continue to share that. They'll continue to subscribe to it, and they'll kind of, at that point in time, opt in for other products or services that you may have. Again, it's like building a relationship. It's like anything else. It takes time to develop and build that relationship and that rapport. And so you're looking at your newsletter as really almost like the dating process, where you're kind of still dating your client, you're still wooing them, and you're not taking them for granted and taking it for advantage that they're just going to be there. So that's kind of how you want to take a look at your newsletter. Make sure you're providing the information that they're going to find is valuable, and that they're going to continue to look at you as a center of influence. And that's where the position you want to be if you're a business owner. So,
yeah, I agree. We are in every company, every person out there who is a small business owner, major business owner. We are really in the shipping business, relationshipping. And that's what your newsletters primarily should be about. You want to have an engaging newsletter that your audience is excited to open up, that looks forward to opening up, because then you have their ear, and then when you're offering your product or service, they see the value in what you're doing. And that's so important.
I'm adding a shipping to your relationship.
Partner shipping, relationshiping.
There you go.
We are in the shipping business. It's all about shipping.
Other business shipping stuff.
No, not at the moment.
But partner shipping, relationshiping, I like that. Didn't want to lose that thought or idea I had. Definitely thank you for all the people who are sending hearts across the screen and thumbs up and all those things. Definitely thank you for doing that. And like I said, we welcome your responses. And as we're talking about newsletters and interacting, really another way of interacting with your clients, we're talking about opening your emails and reading them, making sure that you're doing that on a regular basis. If someone's sending, your clients are responding to you through email, again, we ask, even for this Max Fortune show, we're always saying, hey, send us an email.
Yeah.
We do check our emails very regularly, and if you're a business owner, you want to make sure you're doing that, because it could be a valuable connection that maybe, or valuable information that you might be missing. So you want to make sure that you're opening your emails and that you're reading them from clients. So or whoever's sending you emails, I mean, again, you want to make sure you're doing that. So that was...
Yeah, you read everything. You read your special offers. You read everything that you have that you're sending out, and just make sure that it resonates with you. Be your own best customer, and really, again, everything you do at the core starts with the servant's heart and providing value to the world. And a business is no different. A business is just a vehicle. So if your business is struggling out there and you're wondering what is going on, if you want to change the fruit, you've got to change the root. And at the root of every business is value.
I agree.
And
Well, that's it, Daniel-san.
Ah.
So listen, the easiest way that you can kind of disseminate your newsletter, your information out there. I think I mentioned at the top of the show, there are a lot of different services out there. We don't get paid for any of these places to talk to you about. There's services like Aweber, MailChimp, GetResponse, who I'm not in love with right now, but there's lots of different services out there.
A lot of different services
So
out there.
find a service, an email service, a newsletter service that has good templates out there that you can. A lot of these services, a lot of the ones I just mentioned, already have templates out there that really make it really easy to do a newsletter. Because I know a lot of you might be thinking, okay, you know what, that information sounds good. I kind of want to bring some value. How do I do it? Where do I go? So we just wanted to give you a couple of different places they can go out and check out. And even if you just do email or newsletter template or newsletter service, if you newsletter service providers, another thing you can put into a Google search engine and find out who provides newsletter services. And then you want to kind of look at some of those different services. And a lot of them are based on either one of two things. They're going to be designed whether you're going to have, they're going to be built around either the amount of context that you load into that form or the amount of mail you're going to send out on a regular basis. So you kind of have to, every company I mentioned has either one or the other as a business model. Either they're going to limit the amount of emails or newsletters you can send out to people, or they're going to limit the amount of people that you can put into that you can actually send to. So you want to look at your customer base, look at your client base and your situation and see which one of those models works best for you. So again, if you're limited by context, a lot of times you have unlimited emails you can send out. That means you can send out, if you got 1,000 people, you could send out your emails every week or every day to 1,000 people, your newsletter rather, to 1,000 people if you're on that kind of service. But if the service is only allowing you to send out 1,000 emails, then so again, you have to look at the customer base, your client base, find the best model that works best for you, but find a model. Get out there, interact with your clients is very, very important to find a good provider. And again, shop around, shop prices and shop features because they're all very, very different. And you want to find the one that works best with your business model, the best with your customer base, where it's going to give you kind of the best information. So something else to keep in mind,
Yeah, and how do you know which one is the right one for you? Try them out. Most of them have free trial options.
Yeah.
So you try them out and you ask yourself, what is the purpose of doing a newsletter? Why am I sending that out? And that may give you clarity on which provider you end up choosing. And just once you have that, then you can pick. If you have a large database, then you automatically know you're going to go with the service provider that can hold a large database of emails if you're doing an email newsletter. And if you have a smaller database that you're using to, again, use it for a more value-driven, opted-in driven newsletter, well, there's services that really do that very well. So you just look around, look for reviews. Look for reviews online. It's fantastic. And again, know your customer. Know your customer. That way, and know why you want to send out a newsletter. We've already highlighted some value, but that's where we think you have to answer why you see value in sending out the newsletter to your customer base. That way you're not almost just echoing down the hallway of confusing activity with accomplishment. There's a big difference just throwing out newsletters just because, I got to have a newsletter, have to have it. No, you really don't. Know your why. And that will help you pick the service provider. And once you know your why, that way you're not kind of, hello, is it me you're looking for? You know why. You're like, you're looking for me.
You know what? I do want to say, it's a nice little commerce, little Lionel Richie moment there.
Oh, no.
I'm not going to match that. So the other thing that I do want to say is some people may hear the word newsletter and it sounds like it's a lot, or maybe be a lot to do.
Right, it does. It's a very technical word.
Yeah, very technical word.
It's the news.
It can really be as short or as long as you feel like is appropriate to your customer or your client base. So you want to make sure, it could really be just a couple of paragraphs, but it's good information, good content, something it could be a couple of paragraphs and a quick tip, and really even a click on this website if you'd like more information or if you'd like to find out more. That's really all it needs to be. The whole point of it is providing value to your customer base and giving you, the business owner, an opportunity to stay top of mind. That's really what the whole goal and the whole purpose of doing a newsletter is. You want to be making sure that you're top of mind at the time that there's a buying decision being made. You want to make sure that you are on top of that. And you're taking my
I know,
my
because
book.
I want to remind everybody and thank everyone out there for sending us messages on social media and also giving the opportunity to call at 844-220-2266. We love the engagement. We appreciate it. And one lucky individual who contributes the most value via question or phone call will receive 3 days, 2 fun-filled nights to a destination of your choice, vacation, compliments of the Max Fortune.
And it might be Renata.
Show.
I don't know.
It might be Renata.
It might be Renata.
She has
Renata, you
definitely
have to call in the
she
show.
has-
We got 14 minutes, so we need somebody else to call in the show.
compete with Renata because Renata is winning right
Yeah,
now.
so if not, we'll send out, and Renata, what we can say, if it is you, we'll actually, I guess, talk about that at the end of the show. You definitely need to email the producer at the Max Fortune Show at Gmail with all your contact information. We'll get out to you. But again, there's still some time. So again, maybe, again, if you're commenting out, we're looking for comments. I mean, it takes no time to just send a comment. If you got a business out there, business question about newsletters, just shoot us a quick comment right here on Facebook right now while you're watching, or call us in, call in the show, and just ask your quick question. I'm telling you, we're nice guys. We love to talk. We love
He's
to take
nice.
calls.
I get a little edgy. But I want to say this, and this is something that is a very powerful tool that you can actually use. If you're wondering, what is valuable to your customer base, here is a fantastic idea. You ask them. Ask your customer base. Ask your target market. Take a survey. Find out what they perceive to be valuable to them in a newsletter. Do they really want a newsletter? Do they see value in it? Is your target market a group of people? The people you serve, are they a group of people that love getting emails or newsletters? You can ask that. And I think we forget sometimes to really have that dialogue, and it is a wonderful tool because guess what? That's how you know whether or not you're providing value. It's one of the fastest ways to say, hey, how can I help you? Would this be of value to you? If I sent you a newsletter, would you open it? If I sent you a newsletter, what would make it valuable for you? And then listen, right? If you give people what they really want, you'll always win.
I agree. You know what? You're always so.
Because I've been a customer, I've been a business owner, and I've been in a lot of different experiences in that process, and you just see sometimes there's a disconnect. And in my early days of business, I performed very poorly in the value sector. I thought if my product's great and I'm in the right location, people are just going to come. That whole build it and they will come. No, you can build it, but guess what? The person who builds the value, that's where they'll come. Just showing up isn't enough anymore.
Right.
It's showing up with value. Just advertising is not enough anymore. It's advertising with value. Whether that value is, and you see it in commercials. Here's a great one. You see it in commercials. Somebody says, well, I don't understand. Most commercials are asking you to buy stuff. What those commercials a lot of times are doing is they're giving the value of a smile. They make you laugh. That's why a lot of commercials nowadays, they're more of, they're kind of like the Super Bowl commercial style. Oh, did you see that commercial? It was funny. It was hilarious. It made you think. It broke up the show. They're providing value, and they're staying on top of people's minds.
And that's at the end of the day the important thing. It's just really giving you another tool, another way of staying or interacting with your customers, your client base, which is very, very important. At the time of a buying decision, you want to be the person that your client is thinking about, or at the time that there is a referral or someone in their sphere of influence is looking for a service that you offer, you want to be the name because you've been constantly providing them value. You've been giving them information that they can use, that's the position you really want to be as a business owner. So again, that's we kind of spoke about providing this newsletter from the angle of your customers, not from the angle of you as the business owner. You want to write your newsletter for your readers, and that's really important to focus on, is to not really focus on you, but focus on the readers, the people who are going to read that newsletter, making sure that they're getting that valuable information out of it. That's the important thing.
Here's a quick way to remember this. In the context of your newsletter, do not make the mistake of using that newsletter to try to get someone. The power of the newsletter is to try to give someone. And if you can always remember that, and that is the backbone of the message you send, is be a giver, not a getter, right? So we're not trying to get anyone with our newsletters. We want to give. And I think that's so relevant now more than ever, because everybody's vying for your customer's ear.
Right.
It really is.
And you want to definitely be someone that they see providing something different. You're not always looking for something for them, but you're looking to give something, or looking to at least appear more than you're giving, more than you're receiving.
No one likes being around anyone, whether it's a business owner or a friend, where every time they interact with them, they feel like the friend's just going to ask them for something, to give them something. You know, can I borrow $10? You got it. Like, I don't want to be around that guy.
Right.
Every time I see him, he's asking for a ride. It's just, and I can give and give and give, and that's a good thing. But there's just a fine line between every time you're around someone, and it's a business. Every time you come around a business, and they're always trying to get you to buy their product or service. And I think the other message now that resonates more is to give.
Right.
Give, and people will decide what's relevant for them.
I agree. So as we're kind of wrapping up with the show, at the time, I don't know where it goes. I think the shows get faster and faster. I think
It
they
does.
seem to go quicker and quicker.
And now the end is near.
Yeah, we still got 7 minutes, almost 8 minutes, so that's good. So hopefully you found this information valuable. Hopefully you are seeing a need to share this information with someone, or took some notes down, and are going to use or implement some of this information. If you have used some of the information from the show, we like a quick email. Quick email is good, you know. Shoot us a quick email and let us know, hey, I used your newsletter tip, or it kind of brought me a couple of customers, or this is kind of how it's been, how people are reacting to this, that, and the other. So again, we always like feedback. Feedback interaction is really good. We deal with and talk with a lot of different clients, so we always like to make sure that we're providing value as well, and that we're providing you value. So again, we just want to make sure that that's what's happening out here. And throughout this whole process, we just want to make sure that you are managing the entire process. The entire process of newsletters.
Yeah, what do you mean by that? Manage the entire process.
The who writes this?
Go on. Who are these people? So you want to manage the entire process.
Right. So the entire process, really, the newsletter process, the interaction with your clients, your customer base. You want to make sure that you are, again, with a newsletter, there should be links in there that are, and your phone number should be in there as well. I mean, that's not hard selling things. We talked about no hard selling. But you want to make sure that there is a phone number in there that people can contact you or reach you if they have more questions, if they want more information. The whole idea of the newsletter is to have them wanting more, or put them in that position where they're wanting more information from you. And so you want to be that provider of information that people just want more from you, and give them a way to do that. And that's what really managing the entire process is giving them a way to call you directly, like we have. We're giving them a way to call us into the show, a phone number, giving a way to email, giving someone a way to find you if they want to walk into your store, if you have a brick and mortar place. And again, your newsletter is a way to really make sure you're looking at your business globally, and making sure everybody wants to or may interact with your business from a different way, or different aspect, or a different level. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that you are giving people who want to walk in. Some people want that eyeball to eyeball, that need type of business, some people want to be able to deal with you that way. You want to make sure that if your business is set up that way, that you're giving those people the ability to do that. If you are dealing, some clients may want to just deal strictly online, you want to make sure that your business is in a position that you have a website, that it's functioning properly, all the links are working, and that people can reach you via the internet because that's what's comfortable for them. Same thing with email. You want to make sure you email. So the entire process of managing the entire process is just making sure that, and you have to do this from time to time. You can't just, these are things that you just don't look at one time, deal with one time, but you just want to make sure from time to time that all of the different things that you're working or having are working together. So that's what we mean with managing the entire process, making sure you're doing that with your newsletter, with your marketing campaign, and make sure it kind of fits in with your interaction to your clients. It's also a great way, we didn't talk about this earlier, but it's a great way to, even though it's not a hard sell, but it's a great way to send a special offer or an upcoming product or service, an announcement. Anything that's newsworthy that's happening in your business. Maybe you took on a new employee, you brought on someone new, and you want to introduce them to your customer base, to your client base. Newsletter is a fantastic way to do that. Hey, Joe is new to the blah, 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 you know what I mean? That's a great way to announce, and it's kind of a really clever way of getting back in front of your customer with some type of news or some type of announcement. So there's so many different ways. We could probably spend a whole nother hour, I think, talking about lots of different ways you can use a newsletter to grow your business. But guess what? We only have 3.5 minutes, so we don't have another hour.
Yeah, so again, we just gave you a lot of little things to think about. And one of the things we really didn't touch on is, once you understand how newsletters work, as a business owner, you can always do a very, very unique thing, which is called outsourcing.
Yeah.
Once you understand it, then you actually pay a company for the service of actually managing your newsletters, managing your marketing and things like that. So understanding this allows you to be an educated consumer as well to know what you're getting. And I just want to reiterate that the newsletter is really planting seeds of value. And as a business owner, that's what we need to always remember, is we're planting seeds of value. Yes, we as business owners have needs, right? But as Jim Rohn once just famously said, that we're planting seeds, you cannot say to the ground, a farmer cannot say to the ground, give me a harvest, because the ground will say, who is this fool who gives me his need but brings no seed? We must plant those seeds of value out there, and then we will reap the harvest. So just always remember in the back of your mind, do not be the fool in business who constantly is telling everybody your need, because it never is about what you say. It's always going to be about what the customer says. And that is so important. And you want to have the customer say, that person just brings massive amounts of value. They're constantly planting seeds of value.
You know what?
Who is that fool who brings me his need, but no seed?
Don't be that fool indeed.
Don't be the fool. Don't be that fool.
So listen, as far as bringing value and everything, one of the big things that I do, I talk about this many times, we talk about this a lot of times on the show, is really, one of the things I'm really, really super passionate about is helping business owners. If you're a business owner, I like to help business owners see the value of building a book around their business. And we're going to be talking about that in the next week or two, or really on the next show probably. But we created a sample outline and a really great ebook that's free. Joe talked about it at the top of the hour.
Yeah.
And so if you have a business out there, you ever thought about, hey, whatever your business is, it's kind of like your proprietary information, you know something, we can actually help you put that into a book. So I want you to go to fortunepublishinggroup.com/ebook. If you ever thought about putting a book together like this, again, this is marketing ideas, but if you ever thought about putting a book together, then we definitely strongly encourage you to go to fortunepublishinggroup.com/ebook. Again, you'll be able to just fill out a couple of quick information, download an ebook, and we'll be able to provide you with information that can help you do that.
And Max gave you a very eloquent explanation as to one of the reasons why you'd want to download that ebook, but I'm going to give you a more straightforward one. It's free. Grab your free ebook.
There you go. And again, so every week we like to let you know we have we run the replays on the Max Fortune Show at Gmail. The Max Fortune Show at YouTube. So you want to go to the go to YouTube and just wait. You want to go to YouTube and do the
Max Fortune Show.
right. Just put in Max Fortune Show, and you want to go through there and do that. So
Thank you.
thank you for signing on. Thank you. Join us next week at the Max Fortune Show. Again, every Thursday from 2 to 3 p.m. Join us here. Email us, call us 844-220-2266. Thank you. We'll see you next week at the Max Fortune Show.